3, 2, 1.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are. We are live officially. Welcome to your journey mini tarot series.
Welcome to the journey.
Oh, brought to you by
Sabrina
and Katarina.
Okay, so
This is for anybody who wants to dive into the tarot world. We're doing all the arcanas, major arcanas, every Saturday up until the last card, obviously. And today we're going to be doing Justice card.
yay! So justice is the number 11. So 11, if a lot of people on this journey, when they see 11, 11 feels like a divine number, which it is. And we broke it down, and we actually wrote a little bit about the 11 because it is something interesting. And the fact here is you see two pillars on the both sides of her. You see her, the pillars. I hate that cursor. It bothers me. I know they probably don't see it, but I see it. The two pillars show up in the Lover's card as well as the High Priestess card, and you see it in the Hierophant. So it's really interesting how the pillars show up.
Yeah, it's true.
The pillars could be like new beginnings, right? But it's also the polarity, right? And that's what's showing up for her too. Sorry, the duality. I was like looking for the word. And we're just going to talk about a little bit about the symbolism of this card. We see her, and she's wearing a robe, a red robe, which I feel like red is very significant in this card. And to me, red is the root chakra, which is stability, groundedness, like finance, foundational. And there's a little bit of yellow showing up every once in a while with her crown and a little bit on her cape.
Confidence.
You
need to have confidence to stand your ground. You need confidence to be assertive, be authentic, being true, 100%.
Yeah. And ego. And she has this she has a sword that she's holding upwards, and the sword is the sword of truth, right? This is the sword of Archangel Michael, who is very superbly authentic. He's the messenger of God. He is
the biggest warrior.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought Gabriel was the messenger.
Oh.
Yeah. Archangel Michael is like the first defense. He is the ultimate soldier.
He's not the messenger of God, but he is he's something of God.
He's the protector. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's like
protector.
The first line of archangels.
Sorry, whatever.
Like Comes to the same thing.
Yeah. What I like, which didn't say in our research, is the sword of this justice card is double-edged, right? I always love the fact. And a double-edged sword is like there's consequences in every in any justice, like there's whatever decision you make, there's a consequence to it. So, but also there's a bit of impartiality kind of thing, right? With the thing, I kind of enjoy. Anyway, there's the scales, which are very indicative of the justice card, which is balance and fairness. And
I like the double-edged. Just to add on to the double-edged sword, it's like your action and inaction have consequences.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it also, which is great.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of gray as well. So gray is very authority, not authority, but
it's also neutral.
Neutral, but corporation, like boring. So
where's the colors? Where's my colors?
You know what I want? I wanted to bring up something before we even get into the thing.
Sure.
Because it's come up in a lot of my, I don't know, it's been coming up in my mind as well. And I watched a video recently. So the justice card is all about law, right? About law, about the legalities of life, the legal matters, whether
Structures.
It's marriage, whether it's corporations, whatever. And, in our societies, we are ruled by law. And it's an interesting thing. I want to bring this up and just put this in your list, plant this little seed in your little brains. In Canada and the USA specifically, your states and our provinces are corporations. So laws in North America are illegal, actually.
What do you mean? Say that again. Like
the state of Illinois or the state of New York or the province of Ontario create laws, but they're just corporations writing down regulations.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting to impart that because we're basically following laws that don't exist. but we're in the fear, right, of it. So
Ah,
and that's
very
why for me
interesting.
it's like the justice card is this way. It's unfair just because we're actually following something that doesn't exist.
Hmm.
Anyway, that was just my little input. I wanted to talk
Her
about
little
that.
2 cents. She doesn't tell us what to do with these 2 cents
But
ever.
you don't need to
but
know these to do. You need to feel it within you, right?
Yeah.
And you have to follow whatever you want to follow, right? But also
Mm.
you can question. So like
Questioning is
2022,
important.
I was pulled aside by a cop and I was very much in my conspiracy theory mode. And he's like, "Can I have your license, registration?" I said, "No, you cannot." And he's like, "Excuse me?" I said, it's against the law to ask me this. There's no law that says that I need to offer this to you, provide this information to you. And I actually could just look at my freaking license plate and you can figure it all out, right, on your own. Right. But also I don't accept the ticket and I don't accept anything. I was really like, and he was looking at me like, yo, like he didn't know what to do. But what I was saying, he understood and he let me go.
Oh, interesting. He did?
Yes, because I said you have no jurisdiction over me as a citizen of Canada to give me a ticket, to issue a ticket to me.
Interesting.
Because who am I paying? I'm paying your corporation, right? I'm paying your police academy, whatever, but which is in turn paying to the corporation of Quebec.
And then he just let you go?
And he was like very interested in what I was saying. It wasn't angry. He was angry at the beginning because I didn't have it, but then he listened to me and then he just didn't want to bother, right? At this point. But I probably planted a seed in his head, right? Or maybe not, but
for sure.
I got out of that ticket. But it's just knowing your rights, your sovereignty in this. Anyway, the justice card is bringing up that for me.
So interesting that we dived into that. And as soon as you said the reversal to you meant like
the injustice,
what's going on right now in society, in the world, really, if you think about it, it's an inversion. Sabrina loves to bring up the inversion, which I love that she loves to bring that up because it really points out that there's no absolute truth, and yet there is an absolute truth. Like there's everything happening on the same time. So there is an inversion happening on the same time as well. But what I liked about when she said, right now our structure is not really fair, to me, as soon as you said that, it was like, you can be right about something. You could be, well, one, life is not fair, right? It comes back to this idea of that life will throw you challenges to see how are you going to grow and how are you going to build character. Because if everything was easy peasy, if everything was fair to a certain extent, we might remain stagnant in a certain way. And it's interesting because this is what I say to my niece and nephews every time they say like, this is not fair. I'm like, no, life is not fair. Life is not always going to be fair, because life is also wants to teach you how to be innovative, wants you to teach you how to grow and expand in these circumstances, right? Anyways, that, and also just because something is fair, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it ethical either.
And what is ethical, right? And it's so it's so interesting because what is like after knowing what I know. Oh yeah. After knowing, I'm trying to hide.
I'm trying to hold the table so it doesn't move. But
so after learning what I learned, I was like, okay, what is ethical? What is moral? What is the value systems? What is this value system? What are the belief systems that we believe in? It's all BS, right?
Well, it's all constructed to a certain
imagery. It kind of got to us to a certain place in our lives, but now we're with our expansion of mind, of soul, of everything. It's kind of normal that we would start to be more discerning, right? And start saying, okay, but why am I following that? I mean, it always explains to me a lot to my rule breakingness of my whole life. Like I've never been comfortable following rules. When someone told me you have to do this, I was like, and I would do it sometimes, but I would not be happy. Like, what do you mean? I have to? Yeah. I was dating my ex and he says, you have to come for Sunday lunch. And I'm like, well, I'm not. Don't give me an obligation and Sabrina's never going to go. That's all. You have to wear You can't wear black at a wedding. Boom, I'm wearing black. Like what I'm just saying. You can't wear, it's funny because I'm always in black, but if I go to a funeral of someone close to me, I will never wear black because it's just like an anti. Like the rebel, the little rebel
norm, which is what we need. It's interesting because in the Gene Keys they say that rebel is humans' natural state. We're supposed to be rebels, or else we wouldn't be evolving.
Because we'd be questioning authority. Like, what is authority?
That too.
Yeah. That's the justice card. Like, it's almost like every time I see the justice card when I pull it, I'm always like a little like triggered by the justice. There's certain cards that I get triggered by because to me it's like to follow the rules. It's like the balance of life, and I'm like, what? Like she said before, it's like, what is the balance of life, really? Though, but what is that? Oh my God, we're going really deep into this. See,
I know we didn't do
a podcast this week, so we're going to bring it to you on Saturday.
Yeah, we took a little, well, not a break, but we ended our second season of the official Welcome to Your Journey. This is just a mini series for those listening and not quite understanding. And it's so funny because we're going deep into the justice, almost like a filler for not.
It's okay.
It's like our way of speaking our minds and what we think
the justice is all about
collective needs to know. But here we are. So yes, back to the tarot.
Let's look at the card.
Version of this.
So the justice is all about fairness in the situation. So you're looking at this if you're asking about love, work, or anything in your life. When you get the justice card, it means that there's like you have to take responsibility for something, or you have to make a decision about a situation in your life that maybe you're at a crossroads with, perhaps. But it's also I really literally see it always as like a marriage card, a divorce, or a separation card. I kind of see that like
an establishment,
like divorce, separation, but marriage, or a negotiate, like contracts.
Yes,
and you're in negotiations, and you have to or you need to go get a raise or a promotion. So this is the time to go for it, right? Take that step towards that.
I also see like there's something that needs to be balanced within yourself.
Yeah,
it could mean outside figures. You could be asking about career and all that, but if you're asking about yourself, this would be something's out of balance. You're probably working too much, not enough play, or too much play, not enough work, to kind of balance out the scales of life, to balance out the scales of justice within yourself, to come to that alignment so you can actually be on that path that you are. Even if you take detours, there's still an alignment there that needs to be taken.
Also, what's interesting is that the justice card is Libra, which is an air sign, which is the 7th house of relationships. So when you see the justice card and it shows up when you're asking a relationship question, it's a little pertinent because it's really about finding that balance within, whether it's a love or friends or family. That kind of, it's like. But anyways, that's like just an interesting like add-on. If you're reading this, it's like if I see it, if someone's asking about a relationship, it's very significant. Like to me, this card is the relationships or career work kind of thing. Really, like very right. Less about travel. Like I don't see travel in here because she's sitting very steadfast on her chair. There's no like travel here,
unless you're asking about travel, and then this could pertain to something.
It could be options
of
travel.
Or to be more discerning, because maybe certain countries are not
right.
How you could just
laws are different.
There's certain things that you need to be more discerning about. Do you really want to go there? Depending on your circumstances, depending if you're desiring to live there, maybe there's certain contracts in that country that you would need to kind of filter out, see if this is the right fit for you.
Yeah,
basically. So
it is really like contracted.
Yeah.
And in the reverse, it's unfair, it's injustice, like what we just said, basically, right?
Yeah.
And like it's time to reassess your decisions or your actions or your inactions, right? Yeah. Like it's time to like reassess
the inactions, man.
Yeah,
it's been a big one. You not doing it is doing something. You not taking action is still an action. So
someone listened to us last week.
Yes, Because you can ask questions and we'll answer them
Asked us a
by
question.
2 professional tarot readers over here. Doing
Asked
it for
us
years.
a question about for justice. She talks to me a lot. So 1 second. I just
can go with
posted
the
a question.
key
She just
takeaways.
posted. Okay.
Go with the key takeaways while she's looking at that. So one of the key takeaways would be, are there any areas in your life where you need to be more accountable, or you can hold yourself more accountable? So basically, if there is a situation where you are not taking a decision, can you...
Or you're not
is that
being
area
true to yourself, right?
Yeah, because it is about truth.
It's all about truth.
Or transparency too, right? Can you be more transparent in a certain area of your life, which would then pertain to you being taking more accountability? And then this will balance out the scale. Because every time you go against your truth, you're tipping the scale.
Amazing. Yeah.
Every time. Yeah. We'll get to the 2 other key takeaways after.
Yeah, let's do this. So I'm thinking, okay, I have an upcoming event with my sister. I'm wondering if some justice will come from this interaction with her. Will I feel more in balance afterwards?
I'm assuming it has something to do with her and her sister not getting along?
Yes.
Okay.
This is from Lynn Fiorentino. Hello, my beautiful Lynn.
Thank you
for this.
And here's your free little mini reading.
Justice will come from her interaction with her. So we're not going to, we're going to put the justice back in, but we're not going to use the justice card. We're just going to.
So this is also for those who would like, the idea is to show you how you can actually use tarot in your everyday life. And we're going to give you both of our interpretations in regards to the questions. So like this, it gives you an opportunity to get a little more clarity.
Yep.
In your life.
And next week
on this Saturday,
you can ask. We're doing the hangman right after this, so you won't. We would want a question for transformation. We're going to be doing the death card.
Yes.
Okay, so pick one card.
Go with
whatever. How many? 2.
This one.
Okay.
This
one. And you. Another one.
You.
All right.
Okay, we got it. Lynn.
I feel like I want to take it. Okay. So, Lynn, this is your first card that shows up is the Hermit from last week-ish. No, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. The 3 of Swords.
God.
The Death card.
Talking about that.
And the Emperor. I had to pull out 4 cards because I felt they just flew out. This is a really interesting energy.
Yes, and this has to do with
your sister. If you're going to have justice from it, go for it.
In this interaction, in this event that you're going. So give me a moment here just to kind of tap in, because these are big cards. You have 3 major arcanas over here. So this is something that is really dear to your heart. I see that with the 3 of Swords, and you've probably been hurt in the past multiple times by your sister in this situation, or by the lack of maybe understanding, communication, lack of clarity of what is really, really, really going on within both of you.
Okay, I see it.
You see something? I'll let you go because I feel like there's still things.
Yeah. Okay. To me, I received like the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is very pertinent here because it's amongst the major arcana here, which is the life lesson. But this one is like, hello. Like, obviously you have like your experience some injustice with your sister, a lot of pain and suffering with your sister is very clear right here in the card.
I mean, there's 3 swords in the heart.
The 3 swords.
Like literally stabbed.
You're asking if there will be justice. And I would say, if I look at these cards, that you're probably not gonna, you're probably not gonna get the answer that you're looking for. And because this Hermit to me speaks of you just being that leader by example. You have to lead by example. Doesn't mean that everybody around you is going to like what's coming out of your mouth, or meet your frequency or meet your vibration. It's not, that's not the way it works, especially with this and this Emperor card showing up. It almost feels to me, I think, is she your older sister? Could be like, but doesn't matter. There's like a chain. It's like changing your changing how you speak to your sister, changing how, like, wow, yes, this is a big one.
Yeah, it's a big. The way I see it, do you want me to?
Yeah, continue, because I see, like, yeah.
The way I'm seeing it, and I agree with everything that she's been talking about right now. The Hermit card to me is like, once you see your sister, I almost feel like there's going to be, you're going to have to tap into your awareness. The Hermit card to me in this situation with this question, because there's been a lot of hurt in the past, it might control your reaction to the way you, well, just your reaction towards your sister in this event. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of willpower for you to stay aware with your own hurts and your own pains if you want to be able to transmute this energy into a more, like, the way I see the Emperor card in this position, especially at the end, especially since she pulled it out of random, she felt the need to take it out. The way I see it is like, you want justice. Like, I don't believe you actually want, I almost feel like you're ready to hear the ugly truth, even if it's about yourself. And I almost feel like this interaction has to do with you hearing what she has to say and not necessarily internalizing, but almost taking accountability on maybe some of this injustice has to do with the way you've been handling things, the way that you've been going about this relationship as well. Does that make sense?
It's yeah, because this is like a real one. This is because I almost see like the Emperor card as an ego card as well showing up. That an ego will be blessé, like wounded here. So will it be your ego, or will it be your sister's? And most probably it will be your sister's, because we see the Hermit showing up, and the Hermit is asking you, Lynn, to be the better, in quotations, person, right? Be like, don't
not engage.
Try not to try to respond and not react, kind of thing, where your sister, I feel, will react. So I feel like we need to take this to like a longer reading.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of layers.
There's a lot of layers to this.
Honestly, to add on to whatever she was saying, I agree, like, to the sense of the Hermit, to me, as she was talking, made me feel of someone who doesn't engage in the hurt, in the wounds anymore. And I feel like this is going to be maybe very triggering for her as well. And a death is going to occur, like a big, massive death where, like she said, somebody's ego, because you're not responding, because you're not reacting to her wounds, because she's probably very wounded too. Maybe she felt at a certain point not heard. She didn't feel seen. She didn't feel like you were actually listening, because I feel like a lot of this wounding, especially in the heart, we don't feel like people understand us. We don't feel like people actually hear our words, and therefore our ego gets wounded very, very much. And you not responding could trigger this, but it could trigger it to a point where there's a death that occurs, a death of like, oh, she's not responding to my pain. What am I going to do? All it could do is just die. So I almost feel like, if, as much as possible, approach it with love, approach it with kindness, and approach it really with compassion. Can you have compassion with whatever hurts that come out without taking anything personal? Can you not take anything personal and really like be more aware of like, ooh, this is painful, but it's not me. This is a projection of her feelings towards me. I am but the mirror. Whatever she's saying to you is probably something she's saying to herself constantly. So she keeps putting those wounds back in her heart, in her back. And I almost feel like by you not responding will create an ego death for her. Could be for you
It's gonna
also.
be a little challenging. I understand it because it's not like it's siblings. We both have siblings, sisters. We both understand that, like,
but
it's not easy to
accountability
just not react, right?
Yeah.
It's easy. Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna respond with love, even though I want to stab you. You know, like it's not gonna be that easy to do it. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But I get her. Like it's like an ego death. Has to be there.
One of you has to do it.
The emperor, like I love that the emperor and the hermit are on the outsides here because they're like basically the same kind of they have the same end goal, but he is a bit more forthright, like more demanding, and he's more internal. Right? So
external, internal.
Yeah,
right?
There's this like masculine, feminine energy on the outside of both of these, like massive change here going on. And it's like to tap into both of that part of you. Like, are you going to have is justice going to be served for you?
Is it really what
I don't think justice will be served for you.
And I almost feel like it's not even what you truly want and desire. I feel like the ego wants that. The ego wants justice. But in reality, I feel like both of you just want love for each other. You just want this to end. I almost feel like an ending of the pain, an ending of this heartache, ending for both of you. So it's like, who's going to take the step? Who's going to take the step forward to end the ongoing cycle? Who's going to be the one who's going to break the cycle? And I almost feel like it has to be you.
Yeah, because you're showing up as
because you're the one asking the question,
and also you're a Virgo rising, sweetie. You're here. You're showing up here, and also for me a little bit showing up is that you're needing to be okay with not having a relationship with your sister.
Interesting.
Because the emperor, the emperor is like, she taught me this. I like this a long time ago. She said it. The emperor is the king of all kings. I've been using that because of her, and I love it. Like the empress is the queen of all queens. This is the this is the king of all kings. So he embodies, and the emperor knows that not everybody likes me.
And he's okay with it.
And he's okay with it because he has an ego big enough to be able to say, okay, whatever. It's like I have to take care of myself. I got to take care of my kings, my peoples. I got to take care of everybody. I don't have to like cater to I can't cater to everybody. And with this, I feel like there's a death happening here. Is your death of the relationship that you once had with your sister? 1,000%. Why, Lynn? Because you are a new version of you. You can no longer have that relationship anymore of what we used to have with our sisters, our brothers, our parents, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, whatever, right? We cannot. And that's why this emperor and this hermit are here is like, it's like encouragement. Like, you got this. Like, let's move. We need to make a change.
And here is going to be you that needs to make the change.
Yeah, I know. The bottom of the deck is like the Two of Swords, which is, still you're at that crossroads. It's the Two of Swords is right before the Three of Swords.
Or at least being okay of the death of a relationship that once was. Because a death doesn't mean that you might never have a relationship with your sister again, that you just have to forget about her, but more that it's transmuting. Death is like, it's right before the phoenix. It's right before the coming out of your own ashes and expanding and growing and evolving, right? But you need to die. You need those ashes to completely be removed so you can grow from it. I'm not saying that,
but also it's
metaphor very properly, but you understand what I mean.
As far as the justice card, it's like you have to take accountability for this. You have to take responsibility. You have to be completely like in integrity when you are responding to your sister. You have to be authentic to yourself, your new version of Lynn, your new version of self, and it's uncomfortable. Uncomfortable for everybody. All these cards are not comfortable because they're like, you're shining your light on people. You're being authentically you without any apologies. And the death card is you're saying goodbye to an old you. So,
and also, sorry.
Go. No, that's good.
What I was going to add, what just came into mind.
Ear is ringing.
Are you able to actually be completely vulnerable with your sister too? Are you able to show the daggers that was once in your heart and be like, this is this is how I feel about the situation. Because a lot of the times we put up this image of I am powerful. I have an armor on me. I don't need to show you my emotions. You didn't hurt me. I'm just going to stand up. My ego is not wounded. But in reality, sometimes we are able to connect even deeper with other people. And I do believe that vulnerability is a key of deep connection with someone. But that means you have to be uncomfortable. That means you have to be able to
1000.
show like, ooh, this is how I truly feel. This is my pain. This is how I felt. Detaching from the person itself and just tapping into that emotional wound. Yeah,
It's a big one, but
Yeah.
be okay. Be okay with it, and also don't fall back into your old version.
Mhm.
With like
Those cycles.
really try hard to like don't even bring up the old hurts kind of thing, and approach her with the new version of you.
I do believe that vulnerability could be the key though here too.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like the idea is not to bring up oh you did this, I did no. This is what happened a couple of years ago. No, it's more like I don't feel safe enough to be myself around you. That was a big one with me and my sister the other day. We were talking about that. And that was very important because it's something that brought up a lot of anger and resentment. But that's the thing. Can you go underneath the emotion and really pinpoint what it is really that has been hurting you? So for me, it's the fact that I could not feel safe enough to be myself around my sister. And then she was able to openly admit that she didn't either. And then we came to, okay, let's try to see if there's a possibility for us to actually feel safe enough to be ourselves around each other. What are certain actions that we can take? So that was my way of being vulnerable with her, and as much as possible to come with kindness and more like compassion, but that's a little harder, like she says, right? Taking accountability for the way we interact with other people as well.
All right.
Anyways.
I hope that answers.
I hope so too. Get back to us next week.
Yeah,
That goes or on this video.
Also, like I said, if you can leave a comment or a question for the death card, number 13 card, which is this card. Which is this card, the transformation card. What do you want to change in your life? Where is like transformation needed within your relationships? Whatever it is, right? You tell us. We don't want to give you the questions.
Transformation, exactly. Where do I need to transform? Where in my life am I still in the same
Where
cycles?
am I stagnant? Blah, blah, blah. Right? And you can also maybe ask, anyway, yeah, that's it. I was going to say you can ask a question for Hangman, but no, we're not going to go.
No, because we're gonna do the video.
So we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave one last takeaway. Where in your life do you feel is lacking integrity? Like where in your life do you feel like you're lacking authenticity?
You're not being true to yourself.
And what steps can you take to make these changes?
I like that.
So we'll leave you with those takeaways.
Yeah. So the first one was which one again?
Are there any areas in your life where you need to be more accountable? Which is a huge one too.
So where can you be more accountable, and where are you lacking integrity, truth, or where are you lacking?
Where are you not being true to yourself?
Yeah,
like that's one of the big things that we are facing right now.
Yeah,
that we find ourselves in, in interactions with people, and we compromising ourselves, and we're catching ourselves like compromising. So where are you not like? This is not where I'm at right now.
Yeah, 100%. And we were just talking about this before.
Yeah,
I truly feel like what would change this world at a collective level is being utterly transparent with ourselves. Where are we not being transparent in the way we feel, act, and do amongst ourselves, and therefore with others? Because you can only be as transparent to others as you can be transparent to yourself. So where are you lacking transparency, and therefore not being transparent with others, which is then creating this illusion, this charge of, oh, I can't be myself. Yeah, this mask that is preventing us from stepping into our genius, our truth, and therefore preventing the collective from stepping into their truth and therefore having all this corruption that is all around. I do believe we are every single one of us, the key component to ending this corruption, ending everything.
And that's how we move into a higher vibration with the justice card number 11. Right? Let's like go all up to that. All right.
There you go, guys.
There you go, guys.
The Justice card. This mini tarot series. Welcome. And
Next week, we're doing the Hangman.
we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.